What's going on, everybody out there? That's a good idea from Searcy, Arkansas.
So you know why we make fun of all those vlogs that seem to come together and no line?
Yeah. So, shout outs to Samurai Curb Stomp, the clothing brand out of Searcy, Arkansas, from Taylor Moore and Company. Awesome stuff.
This is the process of how we get through all these skits. Is I actually don't know what we're doing until we do them, and he knows everything. And
don't know much. I know I love you.
The last vlog we did was very, very pre-planned.
Actually, the last time we did a vlog was not incredibly planned.
It was partial, kind of like
we put together a quick script.
Let's be real. The vlogs you watch are scripted.
Are clearly scripted. We were going to be recording a video promoting our second album. My tire was falling off the rim.
Part of the reason we script these is both of us lose the ability to speak when we don't have a script in front of us. And I regularly lose the ability to speak all the time, even when we have a script.
We are That's a Good Idea from Searcy, Arkansas. I'm Mike.
I'm Ginger, I think.
And we've both had a lot of great things happen to us recently, professionally, personally, and even with our music. And so we just kind of want to talk to everybody and take everybody a little kind of step by step, some of the things that are going on with this channel and our band and brand.
What are we even doing?
How did you get outside, back inside, and why are you yelling?
Movie magic. I'm actually not yelling. Normally we have to raise my voice about 10 decibels for every video we do. This time we just did 40.
That's kind of a lot of the sort of thing we've been trying to figure out the last few years. We're both musicians, obviously. We had the same job together. I had worked there for 10 or 15 years. He'd been there for around 5. I've played in bands kind of most of my life and had been out of a band for just a few years. Got together with some guys I knew from high school and started a thrash band. We needed one more guy, invited Ginger along. It was only a few weeks or months before we realized that we're not available to put in the sort of work necessary to be kind of a touring, gigging band around here. But we still want to do something. We started hard at work at our first instrumental album together, and we didn't know how to promote any sort of music without live shows. So, like many of you watching, we looked at our favorite YouTubers and thought, dude, this is really easy. Like, people are going to watch this, find out about our album, and it's going to be a huge success. 2.5 years later, we have around 130 subscribers, and we are very thankful for each and every one of you.
If you're not one of those, please help us out, and Orbital Cannon erase the subscribe button from the face of the earth, obliterate it.
Press the subscribe button, click like, peck us out a comment, something like that.
Completely annihilate the subscribe button.
But we do kind of want to talk to you about what we've already done so far and share with you some of the stuff on our YouTube, because we know a lot of you are watching this for the first time, and it'd be really sweet if you went through and watched all the rest of it, but we're just going to kind of take you step by step in the different things that we've done in the last 2.5 years. So like I said, we started with an album, and the idea was sitting in the office, and neither one of us work at that job anymore. And we gave a lot of ourselves to that job. Like, we worked really hard, a lot of crazy hours, and a lot of mental process went into it. And one day we were sitting kind of contemplating why we're even doing this.
What are we even doing?
And I looked at Ginger and jokingly said, let's write a rock opera.
The only problem with that was that neither one of us can sing. Neither one of us really know anybody who would be willing to sing about call centers.
Yeah, so that was the other thing about it was we had to find something that we had in common besides music to write a rock opera about. You can't write a rock opera without kind of a theme, and the only thing that we for sure both, like, I love pro wrestling, he kind of likes pro wrestling. He loves video games, I kind of like video games. But we did both work in the exact same call center, and so it turned into an instrumental concept album about our time in a call center. At that point, you're really narrowing down who's going to watch your channel, who's going to be interested. Like, it's one thing to say, I'm going to make an album without playing any gigs, and we're going to have a YouTube channel about it. It's another to write an instrumental concept album about working in a call center and trying to promote those sort of videos.
We pretty much wanted to make a kind of behind the music type documentary around this thing, and we actually got a lot of people we worked with to participate. They made some really, I think some of the funniest videos we did were there towards the beginning when we had no idea what we were doing or how we were going to do it, but we had we came up with some skits, and I think it was somewhere in that process that we decided, hey, we want to do more of this YouTube thing, and we wound up doing YouTube more than we did the music. Funny enough.
And that's the sort of thing you don't realize when you're putting together a YouTube channel. If you're a musician out there and you look at your Jared Dines or your Frog Leap Studios or your whoever and you think, man, I kind of want to do that sort of thing, you don't realize what you don't know until you put a video together and you think it's awesome and you watch it back and you realize it's like horrible quality. So we had these elaborate skits and I mean, it was really funny. And you can go through one of our playlists, it's The Journey. And it's a 3-part mockumentary where we both play ourselves.
Extreme focusing on the worst aspects of ourselves, which is my favorite thing to do.
I had never watched The Office, but this documentary was actually my attempt at filming an incredibly lower budget version of The Office about us deciding we're going to get together and play this music. So we have our coworkers come in and they each play a character, like a tattoo artist that you can't see any of the tattoos on his arms because of the way he's holding them, or Otto Van Rockenbacher, the music store owner or whatever. And they're basically saying, dude, these guys are terrible. Each person that speaks about us, it's like they're going to say something really nice, and then they accidentally say something terrible about us, and then we cut to a skit about how we're making the album. But we put that first album out, and it was called Your Leads Are Now Diamonds, and every song was titled about something we experienced in a call center. So that was kind of our gig, and we wrote an album, and we're really proud of the album. Certainly the music part was the part that we do have down, and do know how to record, and do know how to play music, and do know how to write songs.
Even that part, I look back to, because I've always been like a hobbyist, like a very low budget music hobbyist. You know, I'll make something random and put it on SoundCloud, and it was the first time ever doing something of my own that was going to be kind of presented, you know, with a price tag on it. And I even still listen back to that and go like, wow, this is definitely my first album.
So we make the album. We make the 3 YouTube videos. We decide we want to do some more with YouTube. We make a few kind of skits. And really the thing about us making YouTube videos was we weren't really big fans of YouTube, and we hated most of YouTube and YouTube culture. So unintentionally, all of our videos were making fun of the sort of thing that we're trying to do. Now we feel like we know what we're doing a little better. The original web series was called The Journey. So this is going to be Beyond the Journey. And it's an album about that time. We made an album about the only thing that we had in common, which was working in a call center. And then we make a web series to promote it with the same name. So it's Beyond the Journey, the musical adaptation of Beyond the Journey, behind the scenes of The Journey, the making of Your Leads Are Now Diamonds. And that web series was a lot of fun. And we started to learn a lot about how to put out videos kind of on a weekly basis or a bi-weekly basis. But we both had a lot more time on our hands then than we do now. So now we've come to this impasse where YouTube is almost the same thing as trying to go out and play in a band all the time. Instead of practice 2 or 3 nights a week and then gigging on the weekends, it's how do we put all these videos together? And coming up with this stuff is easy. But filming all this stuff, scripting all this stuff out, and getting the time to get together is kind of like going to college or going to college online. There's the fallacy that because I can do this at my speed and I don't have to be in class, it's going to be easier. In a lot of ways, it's harder.
Pretty much to sum up what Mike's trying to say is we don't want this YouTube thing to turn into a full-time job, which is what we were kind of trying to avoid by doing it. Pretty much what started happening is we got so into it that one of our things that he's going to talk about is Electric Boogaloo, which is like a short film that we did. We were learning how to make a lot of that stuff during the process of making it, and it got insane. I think we finished probably like a week or 2 before.
It was, dude. So if you don't know what Electric Boogaloo is, like I said, we made a web series about the making of our second album. The album was called Beyond the Journey. The web series was called Beyond the Journey. It was about the making of that album and our time in between albums and just everything that's going on in our life. So we're kind of making fun of YouTube. We're kind of making fun of our jobs. We're exploring what it's like to be in a band, and we're kind of almost making fun of the band type situations we wanted to get out of. But it all led up to a short film called Beyond the Journey Electric Boogaloo. While it was a lot of work, it was one of the most fun things I've ever been able to be a part of. And to his point, we didn't know anything about really how to use a green screen or anything else, but we actually put something together that is awesome. Now, here's the thing about this channel. We have 4,000 views on a video that we slapped together about a Brazilian guitar player named Emmanuel Aguilar that I ran into on a Facebook group for guitar players. And we have about 135 views on this 45-minute film that we made where our characters travel through time and space along with a masked mascot that was part of the original Journey series. It was a blast, and I'll tell you, while that was incredibly time-consuming because we didn't quite know what we were doing, it's still something we're proud of. It's still something we want you to go check out if you get the chance.
Our second album, Beyond the Journey Volume 1, is called Volume 1 because we decided it would be a good idea to say that we're going to do a 60-song album. So we did Volume 1, then we're planning on doing, I think, 5 more volumes or however many volumes we
Yeah, so it was supposed to be 10 songs a piece on 6 volumes that make, so Beyond the Journey volumes 1 through 6 are that 60-song album. But I guess that's a great segue into our next project is Beyond the Journey Volume 2. But instead of it being just an album with 10 songs, this is going to be what we call
an audio-visual experience like you've never seen before. Beyond the journey, transcend.
If you want a small idea of what Beyond the Journey Volume 2 Transcend is going to look and sound like, there are 3 videos you can check out on our channel. One is the Beyond the Journey Electric Boogaloo trailer. And
if you watch the trailer, we don't blame you for not watching the feature-length movie.
I would watch it. I still to this day don't understand why it's got so few views. The other video you can watch is one we recently put on our channel, us playing music to a speech made famous by Dusty Rhodes. The Hard Times promo, and I told you I love pro wrestling, it's one of the most famous, iconic pro wrestling interviews ever. Ginger had never heard it before. Ginger now hears, "They put Hard Times on Dusty Rhodes" in his sleep.
Oh my goodness! There was a lot of time spent listening to that over and over again when we were making that video.
But Beyond the Journey, Volume 2, Transcend, is going to really be what we initially thought Your Leads Are Now Diamonds was going to be. But instead of about a call center, it's going to be about our entire journey, pun semi-intended, from starting this YouTube channel and our band and our goals with that, all the way up through now, both in and out of character. And we're going to bring back a lot of the characters that have been featured in all of our previous videos. So we've spent a whole lot of time talking to you about being musicians on YouTube without ever really talking about being musicians on YouTube. What I can say is stick around for the journey, pun truly intended this time. This is going to be an awesome trip between now and later this year when Beyond the Journey Volume 2 comes out. But it's something you're definitely going to want to check out. And in the meantime, go ahead and check out Beyond the Journey Electric Boogaloo or some of the Beyond the Journey web series. Or if you saw a music blog and you were thinking it was going to be people playing music like we do, we have plenty of music videos on this channel, whether it be from both of our albums or a cover we did of Talking in Your Sleep by the Romantics, or a mashup of songs to Africa by Toto, as annoyingly as possible while we were trying to capitalize on making fun of YouTube, whatever it is. There's a lot of great content here. We love the stuff that we've been able to do. And if it's 130 subscribers or if it's 350,000 subscribers, whatever that looks like, we're really happy to be able to put our art in one place so we can look back at it one day when we've got kids and grandkids, whatever else, and say, dude, this is what we spend our spare time doing. My father flew model airplanes. That was like his hobby. Our hobby is making really stupid YouTube videos that make us laugh. And if it makes us laugh, we hope it makes you laugh. If it doesn't make you laugh, It's like if you don't chew big red bubble gum.